Do you hear that sound? Wait, listen carefully. No, I don't mean the traffic outside or your kids playing in the next room or your colleagues having a conversation in the office next door. I'm talking about the sound of your own voice in your own mind. This is what we call self-talk. And in today's video, we're going to dive into how can we figure out what we're saying to ourselves, why this is important, and how we can change our self-talk from negative to positive, or at a bare minimum to neutral. Today is the second part of our series Calm Parent. If you missed the first video, you can go back and watch it after watching this video, or if you prefer, you can go watch that one and come back here. You can watch them in any order, it doesn't really matter. The point is, these are tools that I'm giving to you that will help you become calmer and less reactive. And today's topic is self-talk. Hi, I'm Muna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're like me, or how I used to be, or like the many moms that I've worked with over the years, then you're aware that you have self-talk. But maybe you're not so aware of the quality of your self-talk. Maybe you've sometimes even heard yourself saying things like, "You're too fat to wear that," or "I can't believe you did that. You're such a horrible mom. What a monster." Or "You're so unmotivated. You're not even doing anything useful with your life." By the way, I did not invent these words. I didn't come up with them myself. These are actual thoughts that mothers shared with me. And the question that I usually ask them is a question I want to ask you right now. First of all, do you hear yourself speaking in this way to yourself? Tell me in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you and see where we are on this spectrum of negative self-talk versus positive self-talk. The second part of the question is, would you speak in this way, using those words, to a friend, someone that you love, a sister, a brother, a partner, a colleague? Would you say these words? Would you call any mother a horrible mother with that expression on your face? Would you tell someone that they're useless and they're not doing anything good with their lives? I assume, I'm pretty sure, that you would never do that. But what if I ask you, would you speak this way to someone you don't like, someone you really disagree with? Would you speak in this way to them? Now the question becomes then, are these people, whoever they are, your kids, your husband, your mother, whoever they are they more important to you than yourself? The answer is, of course, no. The most important person in your life is you. And you are living inside this body of yours and inside this mind of yours. You can choose to make that sound and that self-talk positive and encouraging and supportive and compassionate, or you can make it bullying and critical and judgmental and shaming. I know it sometimes feels like you can't help it, that these thoughts just keep coming, but we're going to learn today a very simple way that will help us start noticing these negative words that we're saying to ourselves initially, and then slowly start changing them to something more positive and more empowering. Before we get to the how, we need to start by understanding the why. Why is it important to change our self-talk to begin with? At the beginning of my self-coaching and self-healing and personal development and self-help journey, which I'm still on, obviously, and I hope to be on for the rest of my life, but right at the beginning, I understood a formula which to me was completely life-changing. And it changed the way that I view the world and changed the way that I look at myself and my own emotions and my own mood swings. And the formula starts with our thoughts. Our thoughts, whatever you are thinking inside your mind, always leads to an emotion. And this emotion is always 100% aligned with the quality of the thought that you're thinking. So if you are thinking a good, positive thought, then your feeling will be good and positive. And then your feelings are what lead to the behavior that you take or that you don't take. And these behaviors are what lead to the results that you get in your life. And now looking at this formula, if we want to have different results in our lives, which part of the formula should we start at? Obviously, the answer is our thoughts. Now, if we look at self-talk is practically all of these thoughts that we're thinking. And every time I think a negative thought, that's going to lead me to feel a negative emotion, and that emotion is going to lead me to either behave in a negative way or not do something that's positive, not behave, not get off the couch and go to the gym, and not send my resume to that new company that I heard about. And that will lead to the results that we're getting in our lives. It's as simple as that. I know, I remember in the beginning when we were being taught these things, I resisted it so much. I argued with my coach for days, maybe even weeks about that, because I wanted to prove that no, sometimes our feelings, you just feel bad. And now I know, and now I argue on the other side that no, you absolutely never feel anything without having a thought that led to this feeling. So now the why is explained, and now we can get to the how. What I want to invite you to do is to use technology to help you with that. And by technology, I mean your beautiful phone that you're probably watching this YouTube video on. This phone has something called reminders. As soon as you're done watching this video, I want you to turn on your reminders and set 2 reminders every day, twice a day, for the next week. And the reminder is going to say, how are you feeling? Let it ring twice a day. And when your phone rings, no matter where you are, even in the middle of a meeting, you can see that the reminder is telling you to check in on yourself. Write down what you're feeling. Eventually, as you start catching yourself and asking yourself how you're feeling, you're going to start noticing that you're developing self-awareness. And self-awareness is basically us going inside our brain and turning on a small flashlight to see the thoughts that we're thinking. Because we can never solve a problem if we don't know that the problem exists in the first place. So your homework for this week is to set these 2 reminders twice a day for a whole week. Hopefully, after this week is over, this becomes a habit. If not, I would set another week reminders, or even 2 or a month. You do whatever works for you, as long as it leads you to more self-awareness. It might feel weird in the beginning to start speaking to yourself in a positive way, to change your thoughts from, oh, you're too fat to wear this, to, no, I don't speak this way to myself. Or when you hear yourself criticizing yourself as a mom, to stop that and to speak to yourself in a way that you would speak to your best friend if she was having a hard time with her kids. At the beginning, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to feel fake, but it's okay. This is one of those times where faking it until you make it is what you need. Yes, fake positive self-talk. Yes, speak to yourself in a way that feels weird and awkward and different, because if you want different results in your life, you need to think differently and you need to do things differently. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And now we know what the first thing we need to change is. And it's always, always our thoughts. Before you go, I don't want you to miss this if you've missed it in the previous videos. I created a free mini masterclass that will literally help you save hours every single week as a busy mom. And who can't use hours of free time maybe to become more self-aware of our self-talk, or do whatever you want to do with that free time, with 5 very simple tips that you can start applying literally today. So make sure you grab that freebie from the description underneath this video. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that you made it back to part 2 of our Calm Parent series, and I can't wait to share with you the 3rd tip in our next video. See you next time.